going to do an art project inspired by Henri Matisse. This is project 5 called Story Color Collage. Henri Matisse was a French artist who lived from 1869 to 1954. It wasn't until his later years that he began to create bright, colorful collages using simple shapes of cut pieces of paper. He began his career as an artist painting, sculpting, and printmaking. This is one of Matisse's early paintings early on in his career. It is called Woman Reading at a Dressing Table. Matisse was a leader of a new art style called Post Impressionism. And because of the strange shapes and bright colors he used, that style of art is called fauvism, which means wild beast in French. He loved simple contrasting colors and believed they could tell stories. And in this lesson, we are going to explore and create our own story color collages. So this is a picture of Henri Matisse. And here is an example of a couple of his collages, his paper collages. They're much bigger in real life. This is not to scale. And here he used canvas and cut out pieces of paper to look like abstract leaves with many different colors. And this one is called a spray of leaves. And this one, not too much different in his shapes. This one is called the vegetable elements. Now his collages did vary, and these tell more of a story, and here he's still using very vivid colors and abstract shapes. This top one here is called the horse woman, and the clown. And this bottom one is the sorrows of the king. And you can Google these paintings and they'll tell you more about their story. So today we're going to do our story color collage, and this is my example of my collage, my story color collage, and I titled it Sun and Flowers. And you can see pretty much what my story is the flowers down on the ground, the green grass behind it, the sun is shining with the blue sky. So the materials that we're going to need for this project, I'm going to keep this right here so we can see it better. We're going to need different colored paper. I'm going to use construction paper, but you can use origami paper. You can use pieces of finger paintings cut into scraps. So you can use whatever paper you have on hand to make your collage. You're also going to need some sort of a stiff board, whether it's poster board, cardboard, cereal box board. This is some scrap board that I had from another project that I did, and that's what I used for this as well, was this type of a board. Okay, you need something stiff. You're also going to need some type of a glue, white glue, glue stick, masking tape. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need a ruler for pieces that you want to cut straight lines, like a triangle, square, or rectangle. And possibly some white scrap paper to do designs on. I kind of fooled around with different designs before I cut out my individual pieces. Okay. So you may want to play around with some scrap paper. But those are the materials that we're going to need, is the glue, the scissors, ruler, and different colored papers. So the next thing you need to do is cut some of the papers into interesting shapes. So when I did my flower shapes, when I decided to do flowers, I did it a little abstract looking, and then I took that same shape and I traced it onto the paper several times so I could have several of the shapes. Now you don't have to do that, but that's what I wanted to do so I could have that field of flowers, okay? And then what I did was I took the masking tape roll and I put it on my orange paper and I traced around it, and then I cut out my circle. So you can use different objects to make your shapes and just trace it right onto that paper and cut the shape out. To imitate Matisse, the shapes should be bold and simple in their designs, and then glue your shapes on the background papers of the collage. So before you glue your shapes, you want to take your board, and here I cut out a background. So you want to glue on whatever background it is that you choose to do and have it fit your board, okay? So you let that dry, and then you take your smaller shapes and you layer it onto your background color, okay? Now, one of the things, for instance, Matisse used his colors to tell a story. He would use blue to show truth or heaven, orange to show love or gentleness, red to show excitement or fire, green to show growth or change. And part of the enjoyment of looking at the work of Matisse is trying to understand what stories he was telling through his art. So that's what you want to do. You want to use your colors, you want to use your shapes, and you want to try to express a story. So to express that story, decide on what the colors and shapes of the paper will symbolize. Then glue them on the collage in a way that expresses feelings or tells a story like a colorful, dreamlike photograph. Okay? So, again, you want to take your board, put your background paper on the board, and you can have that done in a shape as well. Cut off any excess paper around the hard board, and then you want to place your pieces on here before you glue them down. Make sure you position everything where you want it on that background color, and then you can glue it down. And always come up with a title for your project. Again, this one is called Sun and Flowers. All right. So I really hope that you will enjoy this project. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a hard time at first coming up with an idea. I'm running out of a lot of ideas, I feel like. But I put it to something simple, and that's what you really want to do. You want to focus on something simple, simple shapes, simple idea, just to get it onto paper. When you make it too complex, you're not doing Matisse. You need it to be simple, bright colors, okay? So once you have completed your project, please give it a title and email it to me. Email me a photo. And next week is our last art class together before summer break. So have fun with this project and see you next week. Bye.